Today we're diving into the juicy backstories of these criminals. Just as our old sheriff pulls out the newspaper from the first crime scene, looking all sick, he spots two key words, worth and greed, both from the biblical 7 deadly sins. If the sheriff's reasoning is correct, 5 more murders are on the way. It's like a twisted game of Clue. The old sheriff wants nothing to do with the case, dreaming of retirement and Netflix, while rookie officer Peter is buzzing with excitement. Complete as the sheriff gazes out the window at the world's suffering, his sense of duty kicks in again. Looks like retirement can wait. In the end, he chose to check the library for info on the 7 deadly sins. This old cop's curiosity still burns bright. He compiles useful info and leaves it on Peter's desk, but Peter sees it and looks like he just found a mountain of math homework. Total meltdown. His wife notices his struggle and invites the old sheriff over for a drink, ready for a night of case cracking and cocktails. As they drink and reminisce, 2 initially hostile cops bond, like a sitcom. After collating clues, the sheriff finds blood on the widow's photo. Is there a bigger mystery? The sheriff and Peter rush to the lawyer's wife's house, and when she sees the crime scene photos, her eyes light up. Looks like she's onto something. She mentions a painting in her husband's office that was hung the wrong way, and our duo hurries to the scene for a sleuthing adventure. They search high and low at the scene, but find nothing. What a major letdown. Just as Peter turns to leave, our crafty sheriff crawls around the table and discovers a fingerprint message hidden behind the painting. The message reads, "Help me," shocking them, but unfortunately, fingerprint analysis will take days. Looks like the killer knows how to play the long game. To catch the killer ASAP, they decide to camp out at the precinct to talk about a cop's camping trip. After 3 days of waiting, they finally identify a suspect, and the sheriff thinks this guy seems off, but they can't miss this chance. They all rush to the suspect's place, ready for action. But what happens next shocks everyone. As an officer lifts the sheet, a terrible stench hits them like a brick wall. The suspect is not just withered, he's missing his left hand and tongue. It's like a horror movie come to life. Then, the sheriff spots the word laziness written on the wall. This is turning into a ridiculous circus. They suddenly realize that this corpse is actually the 3rd victim, and the real killer is toying with the police from the shadows. To make matters creepier, the victim is still alive. The sheriff quickly calls for an ambulance. He knows that as long as this person is alive, they might find the real killer, a plot twist worthy of a thriller. Suddenly, a reporter pops out, throwing everything into chaos, and Peter, viewing, chases him off immediately. The doctor checks the victim and declares due to starvation, he has lost all human traits. What a tragic ending. Unfortunately, the victim's lost tongue means he can't provide any clues, leaving everyone feeling hopeless. Any forced communication could literally scare him to death, putting the case at a standstill. After years on the job, the old sheriff can't help but lament finding such a twisted killer. Who would take a whole year to torment a drug dealer and then leave clues on the last day? The killer is definitely no ordinary foe, but Peter thinks it's just some guy borrowing a few books from the library. Suddenly, Peter's book-loan comment sparks a light in the sheriff's mind. He immediately calls his FBI buddy to track who's been borrowing books from. While this may not catch the killer, it's better than being completely lost. They are at least heading in a direction. Soon, the sheriff and his buddy arrive at the suspect's home, but make so much noise that the suspect promptly opens fire and makes a run for it. Peter doesn't want to miss this chance, sprinting after him like a scene out of The Simpsons. But at the turn, the suspect vanishes. Peter is determined not to return empty-handed and keeps searching. Ultimately, the hidden killer ambushes him, leaving Peter dizzy and his gun clattering to the ground. The killer points a gun at Peter's head, and it looks like he's about to pull the trigger. Talk about a nail-biter. Just in the nick of time, the sheriff swoops in to save Peter. Now that's a plot twist. Though Peter is frustrated, he returns to the suspect's place, convinced that opening the door will reveal all the evidence. The sheriff urgently stops him, warning that the intel was obtained illegally and kicking down the door would be a breach. Peter pretends to comply, but the moment he turns, he kicks the door open, going all in. But he finds another way, hiring a thug to lie, which gives Peter a legit reason to enter. Finally, they uncover evidence from the 1st to 3rd victim in the house. Talk about the treasure hunt. But the real kicker? Peter realizes that the reporter he chased away was the killer. What a jaw-dropping twist. Subtitle: even more unbelievable. There are no fingerprint clues to be found anywhere. Could it be that the sky is like a ghost? In this dire situation, Peter is about to throw in the towel when a phone rings, like a beacon of hope. Subtitles: the killer hung up the phone right after he finished speaking, unaware that the police had already located his residence. The situation grows tense, compelling the killer to quicken his hunting pace. It seems the ultimate confrontation is on the verge of starting. The police are not completely at a loss either, and they keep on pursuing the clues. This is clearly a battle of wits, with neither side wishing to lose. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the upcoming thrilling episodes.